It's daytime with Aston Avery. Now, obviously, today's theme is all about bullying here, and some of the helplines will be on YouTube videos later on. And if you've been affected by anything in today's show or been a victim of bullying. So, Stephen Smith joins me, and now we're going to be joined by model, TV presenter, and actress Danielle Mason. So, Danielle, hello.
Hi.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
You're looking really hot. Really gorgeous.
Am I?
Yeah, look gorgeous.
Oh, thank you.
We're liking the hair up.
Yeah, it's just a bit knotty this morning, so I just thought I'd bung it up on my head.
So Danielle, there's one aspect that I did mention here, an expert cleaner. So before I start, I can't imagine you being a cleaning expert here. So you always have it ready. So how did this come about here?
Oh, do you know what? I started cleaning when I was 15 at travel lodges. And then obviously went on to do other work and things, went into modelling, carried on with my career, my TV stuff. Then I had the kids, and then I had my own cleaning business as well as that. So on the sideline, I was doing that. So obviously I've got loads of cleaning experience. So when I did my presenting show reel, they said, why don't you throw in together the presenting with the cleaning, because since lockdown, cleaning has skyrocketed. Everybody's into their cleaning products, and where they've learned new things from YouTube and stuff with obviously the germs from COVID. It's become a big thing. So yeah, I started that, and I've had lots of TV meetings and auditions. So
I'd love it. Do you want to be nice to have a cleaning show with some glamour?
Yeah, well,
it'd be really nice to have a show like that. What is your number one cleaning project you can't live without?
Zaflora.
Zaflora.
Purely Zaflora. It's purely because you can use it on everything. And when I tell you it smells so good, it smells amazing. And that was one of Mrs. Hinch's favourites as well, Zaflora. Because it's anti-bac, it gets rid of COVID and all sorts, and that's when I discovered it, was during COVID. But yeah, because it's got some great flavours, and your house will smell amazing.
So obviously, we're here to discuss bullying.
Yes.
Now, again, we just had Nicole on, glamorous, exciting, and also someone that's quite ballsy. I can't imagine that you were ever bullied.
Oh, I think, do you know what? I think everybody's had experienced some type of bullying, whether it be their friends not talking to them, or girls picking on you, or getting shouted at in the street. I think everyone's experienced it. But I remember at school, I experienced bullying. I remember that I used to dread lunchtime, because I don't know why, I was sat with older children and they just used to like literally pick on me. But I think with children, they don't understand the effects. So they don't understand what it actually does to someone mentally. They just find it funny. So you can't, it's not until you get older when you actually start experiencing thinking, oh, I don't want to make someone else feel like that. As if you have got empathy. It's just a learning curve, I think, with kids.
Yeah, you know, it's really interesting what you just said there about the playground. And for many people, it's enjoyable having a break. For many kids, the playtime is terrifying. I know myself, I took up art. So I used to go to art class during playtime to hide away.
That's so sad.
So many kids did that to escape bullies. And playtime is quite terrifying, rather than what it sounds like for a lot of children.
But like, I think a lot of kids, they get dragged along with it as well. Like, they don't want to bully, but they feel peer pressure that they have to be with that group, otherwise it's going to be them that's the lamb to the slaughter. So I do feel, it terrifies me actually with my kids. Like, I'm always asking, has anyone been horrible to you at school today? And vice versa. If my children were horrible to another child, I don't agree. I do not like that. I would be fuming with my children if they ever bullied another child.
I think Aston and I both experienced bullying, but often the bullies are just as have so many issues themselves. They're quite.
The experience with my children is the children that tend to play up in their school are from damaged backgrounds. I mean, their parents aren't together, or they've witnessed domestic abuse, you know, it can really go quite deep.
Yeah, it's really interesting. And I think, as you said, if parents could ask their children, are you being bullied? And it'd be okay to say, yes, I am.
Yeah, kids won't know.
I know,
Kids
as we were
won't.
discussing earlier, and a number of times I've read an article where a child's killed themselves, and the parent says, I thought they were really popular at school. So what were they seeing?
It's group chats. I find a lot with my children, it's group chats, what goes down them. They add all the kids from school and then they literally rip into each other on there. I mean, I've had calls from the headmistress a few times with mine that they're on a group chat where someone's been horrible to somewhere else. I might not necessarily be involved in it, but so I therefore have to confiscate the phones and go through them and things like that. But it happens so much.
Thank God when we were around, they didn't have the phones. So it was...
yeah. Then my mum said when she was at school, like another kid would like slap you and call you Four Eyes or something, and she said we just had to get on with it in my day.
Yeah, that's the problem. That then damages the poor child for the rest of their life.
Yeah.
So Danielle, as well, as you mentioned already, obviously about having two children yourself here, and also you mentioned about them being scared to tell anyone about experiences of bullying. So is there any signs they should really look out for here, children, about if they're being bullied here?
Well, they won't want to go to school for starters. My little boy went through a stage where he didn't want to go to school, but it was actually, I don't think he wanted to do the work. But a lot of times kids won't want to go to school, and then they'll come home and take their frustration out on you as a parent. So then they'll start being really nasty to you, and you think, what is your problem? But it's because they've been bullied and they're so frustrated. But my kids wouldn't tell me because they're like, Mum, you're embarrassing. You'll go up the school and start. So I think that's why kids don't come to the parents, because they know that the parents will be like, right, and they feel embarrassed.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
one of the reasons I wanted you on the show is I have actually witnessed it. As an adult, you've been bullied because you're gorgeous and you're out there, and I've seen some of it going on. How have you handled being bullied as an adult?
Yeah, so when we talk about as an adult, it was a video that went viral where some girl was literally slating me off. Like, I'd had, this girl had done something wrong to me. So I'd had a word with her, and then rather than call me up about the thing, she literally thought she would put it on her Instagram. The video went viral everywhere. So I had to take legal action because for slander, for one, because the stuff she was saying about me was so derogatory, which is not me as a person. One of my children was on social media, and this video was literally got shared over 1,000 times. And I thought, do you know what? All you people sharing it, you're just as bad as her for a start. Like, I just think people are thick. Like, I don't know, what are people really thick to people's feelings? I mean, when I was younger, don't get me wrong, I'm not completely innocent because I would have a go at people sometimes over social media. But then when you actually experience it on the other side, it makes you realise,
Danielle, how do you cope with, I mean, as I say, you're a successful model, and often when you're in the papers, underneath the piece, there's these people that seem to be like throwing apples from the galley, making comments about you, calling you some things I just can't even believe. And you're one of the nicest people in showbiz I've met, and very loyal to your friends, and they don't really know you, but they put things that, I mean, I'm hurt by reading them. How do you cope with it?
I actually laugh. I find it quite funny. Like, I don't get me wrong, I never used to, but like comments I've had, like when I was smiling, look, I'm smiling now, someone said, "Core blimey, her mouth looks like a toolbox. She's got so many teeth in it." Like, well, I've just got normal teeth. But like, I would just laugh. I did used to find it quite funny. Me and my friends would sit there going through the comments and actually laugh. But when I first got in the industry, and I see this with a lot of people that are new, they get really upset by it.
Yeah.
So, oh my God, my dog's barking. Hold on. Sorry. Oh.
Anyway, but it's good to have that extra set of sound effects in the background, Steve.
When it comes to animals, we
It's
always
the postman.
we always
Sorry.
Is that what you're calling your new boyfriend?
What, the postman?
Listen, you're part of the gypsy community, or you have been, and they always get a bad rap, don't they?
Yeah.
And we had Ben Pearson on, who said they actually saved him as a kid when he was in care, and there's loads of positives. Did you come across bullying yourself within the community when you joined them? Because you weren't a part of the gypsy community, were you?
No, it wasn't so much bullying. It was more, I just wasn't one of them, so I was an outcast.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you want to call that bullying, but yeah, it was more the fact that I was an outcast because I wasn't a gorger.
What's a gorger?
It's a non-traveller.
Yeah. And do you think they get a bad rap?
Yes, sorry, I don't know what is going on with my dog. Yes, sorry, they do get a bad rep. But that's, you know, everybody is the same in life. It's just there's a bad bunch of everybody.
Yeah,
it's not just travellers.
Yeah, absolutely. There's in every group, you know, there's the bad apples, and then there's the good apples, isn't there?
Yeah.
So,
definitely.
So Danielle, as well, often we hear about the modelling world here. Is there any way you give advice to listeners today who might be going into the modelling industry, and how was your experience of going into it in the very first place?
So when I first went into it, I was lucky because I had people from the industry that actually looked after me and guided me in the right way. But I do watch a lot of new models now that go in for photo shoots with people, and I don't know who they are, but I find girls are very gullible, so they just need to be very careful.
Yeah, I mean, I heard recently, again, this £250 for a picture to join the agency, and you know, and I know people that they take the 250 and shove their photographs in the back of the desk, and they've never heard of it yet.
Yeah, there's a couple of agencies like that actually, and people always say to me, oh, they joined this agency and they paid this fee and then they don't get any work after that. And I just think, wow. And these people are making a lot of money from these innocent people that don't have a clue what they're doing.
For mums wanting their daughters to be models, and what advice would you give so they don't? How do you check on these people?
Well, a lot of girls come to me for advice, and they'll say, "Do you know who this is?" And then I'll be like, "Yes or no." But really, the best thing you can do is actually speak to someone maybe that you might be friends with in the industry. I always say to look at the previous work the photographer's done or the agency's done, what they've got, other people who they've got on their books, and that way you can see whether they're legit or not. Obviously, if you can see that they've got nobody any work, then And
the big also with glamour modeling, you always take someone along with you. There's no reason to be going to a hotel or anywhere to take your clothes off, and often it's not necessary for glamour work to be topless in all the pictures, is it? The first lot of pictures.
Yeah, no. So one of my friends had this experience where she did actually go to someone who actually, the weird thing is they're actually very well known in the industry as well, and he made her get on a chair and take all her clothes off, and I was like, no, and they're really well known, so sometimes you just actually can't trust anyone. They were just taking liberties.
Yeah, it's a form of bullying again, isn't it? You know, it's just taking advantage of someone who's got dreams and hopes, and instead of embracing this, they're taking advantage of them.
And they're well-known people in the industry, and there still are well-known people in the industry that do this as well.
A lot more Jimmy Saviles out there. That people are frightened to talk about. You know, it's great. Anyway, Danielle, what makes you feel happy in life?
My children and chocolate. My children and chocolate, and I don't know, we can't, well, I was going to say something rude then, but I think we're before.
It's morning, please do not say anything rude. And
my children and chocolate. make me happy when they're good, because when they're naughty, I'm not happy.
Oh, so have you got any plans coming up, and how can people find you, Danielle?
So plans I'm going to get, I'm going to get hold of my dog in a minute and give it a good telling off. Sorry about that. And secondly, I've had an audition the other day, which went really well. So I'm going to be taking my cleaning brand to TV. So just watch this space.
Oh, brilliant. Darling, thank you ever so much for coming on.
Thank you for having me. Again, I'm sorry.
Product again, I've got to go and get immediately.
Say that again?
The name of the cleaning product.
Oh, I just call it a brand, Miss Mason's Cleaning.
Oh, okay. All right. Thank you ever so much.
That's okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Danielle.
Bye.
Yeah.